Hello everyone, I'm Runespism, and welcome back to Touhou Doom. This time we're going to be tackling Chapter 2, Hell of Blazing Fires. And quite a few things are going to be different, so I'm going to have to spend a little while describing them all. The first one is this purple voice in our head. Whoever this purple voice is, they're going to be leading us around by the nose for basically the rest of the game. They know a lot about the plot and we don't right now. And as for the other changes, I noticed that I wasn't recording in 60 frames per second for my first session, which was the first two videos, so I fixed that now. Hopefully it looks a little smoother. Might be able to see the bullets coming a little bit more easily. Let's see. Here's a couple more changes. Some new weapons. Some new whatever these are. So let's go over these. We've got the Hakore rifle, which fires magic kind of similar to Reimu's magic. And then we've got the Hakoro Star Cannon, which fires magic kind of similar to Marisa's magic. These two weapons are going to be our best friend for a lot of the rest of the game. Let's start with this one. So, these don't use ammo, instead they use these little red power-ups. Well, they don't really use them, it's more like they have infinite ammo and then the power-ups make them more powerful as you collect more of them. So we start off with only a couple of these blue homing amulets, but then we get more as we power the weapons up. As for these spell cards we got, let me just see how I can cycle through them at the bottom of the screen there. I'll choose this one. Let's get a feel for this thing. I'll run into the middle of a group of fairies. And just annihilate them completely. So, spell cards make you invincible. Immune to damage. Oh, get away from me. Spell cards make you invincible to damage. Wow, why didn't any of you guys wake up until just now? What is going on? I thought I was safe. Trying to get me while I'm explaining things. You sneaky devils. Okay, there's nothing behind me. Anyway, the spell cards, they all make you invincible for a few seconds, and they do some kind of ludicrously powerful attack, depending on which one you choose. They're all a little bit different, but they all do a lot of damage. I'm going to try not to use too many spell cards. In fact, that may very well be the last one I use for quite a while, just because they make the game a little easy. You really don't have to dodge much if every time a hard part of the stage comes up, you can just, like, blow right through it. Actually, I will use one more on the boss of this stage, just to show off really how much damage they do, and then you might understand why I don't really like to use them that much. Let's just pick up all these before... Yeah, I was about to say, there's no enemies coming up, I bet we're about done. Alright, next big change for episode 2. The plot actually matters a little bit now. So, we're in the Netherworld, because we died at the end of episode 1, if you don't remember that so well. And now we've got the Princess of the Netherworld here, her loyal retainer, and a third person who is about to teleport in. Because I remember this from my previous attempt at this recording. Just testing some stuff. It's Yukari. They're being very coy with her name for some reason, but either you're a Touhou fan and you recognize her, or you're not a Touhou fan and you don't really care. So, they're being coy. It's Yukari, and she just revived us. Which is great for us, because it means that we can go back to the world of the living and go back to shooting those demons. But it's not great for these two, because you're not really supposed to break the rules around here, so now they're going to fight us just to keep up appearances. Oh, get away from me. So if you hadn't noticed, the game's gotten a little bit easier, just as kind of a warm-up. The start of every episode gives you just a little bit of a warm-up to swing you back into things. So this is a pretty easy pattern here. The red bullets go right at you. But the blue bullets, they go to your side, so you need to stand still. Why don't you do some blue bullets again? Oh, jeez, get away from me! She can also try to charge at you and slash you, but you're only... Fine, no more blue bullets, who cares? Get out of here. And then this is her first spell card. Oh goodness. As long as you're standing fairly far away, it's not too difficult to find the gaps. Getting a little bit of lag every time I finish an attack. Hopefully that doesn't keep up. Another fun thing about episode 2, the bosses are just a little bit more animated now. If you look closely at Yuyuko here, you can see that she's using a different kind of hand movement for each of her bullet patterns. And she also pulls out a spell card every time she casts one, or declares one rather. I'm the Touhou fan, I should use the correct words. Anyway, every time she declares a spell card, I believe Yomu did it as well. All of the bosses are just going to do that from now on. There's no reason not to get right up close to her during that spell card, I mean. Oh yeah, these ones bounce off the walls. Oof. So I have to kind of stay near the middle so the bouncing off the walls doesn't get me. Oh no! Darn, what a bad time to try and sneak past her. Yeah, a little bit of lag between each spell card. At least it's not happening during them, I guess. These are bouncing off the walls as well, but there's just not enough bullets where it's really that much of a problem. I can just kind of whip around and have a rough mental map of where they all are. As long as I don't lose track of the boss herself, I guess. There we go. Nothing too difficult for the very start of a new episode. Alright, so we've fought our way out of the Netherworld. Here we are at the Sunzi River, kind of the mythological river that splits the living world from the afterlife in Japanese mythology. For anyone not aware, I guess. Then Yukari speaking in weird riddles or whatever the hell she's trying to say here. If she's not willing to explain the plot in simple terms, then I am. Basically, Yukari just wants to keep things as is. Oh, wait a second, I'm swapping between weapons and I haven't even told you that I can do that yet. Alright, maybe the plot synopsis can come in a second. So each of these weapons actually has 3 different firing modes. And now that I'm done explaining absolutely everything about level 1, I can start explaining this maybe. So we have Homing Amulet, the first one. It doesn't deal much damage, but it's absolutely trivial to aim because the blue amulets do most of the work. Then we've got Persuasion Needle, which deals way more damage, but you actually need to aim it yourself. Then we've got Hakure Amulet, which is kind of halfway between the two. The way the homing shots fan out means that you can't be too close to walls, and you can't really, like... It just makes them a little bit harder to aim. You still need to be thinking a little bit about it. Like, I can't shoot from here, for instance, or I get barely any damage. But in return, it does it a little bit more than the other homing shot. And then let's see. With this one, we've got Illusion Laser. Illusion Laser is... Oh, get out of the way. I'm trying to explain the weapons. Illusion Laser is very handy because it travels all the way across the map instantly. It's the only pinpoint accurate long-range weapon you've got. Magic Missile here is very useful for the area of effect damage. The stars explode when they crash into stuff. It's not quite as much damage as Persuasion Needle, but against crowds of enemies it's way better. This is actually kind of the perfect time for it, now that I can fire into that crowd back there. They're not really moving fast enough to dodge it either, which would be the main weakness of this weapon. Is there one? I thought I was getting shot in the side or something, but apparently I'm just bad. And then finally we've got Magic Napalm, which is a short-range flamethrower. Deals the most damage out of the 6, but it's kind of inconvenient to use in a bullet hell game. Getting that close can be quite dangerous. I think Illusion Laser will do just fine for now. I could use something with some accuracy. Anyway, what was I saying about the plot earlier? I mean, Yukari is a character in Touhou. She really wants to keep Touhou as it is. She's basically the person who set things up this way, I say as though you understand what that means. She made the rules. She's the big boss that's in charge. And so she wants to keep things the way they are, because she's quite happy with the fact that she's the boss and she's in charge. It's kind of the way it goes, isn't it? And because of that, she sees these demons invading Gensokyo, and she thinks two things. Number one, that sucks. Who would want demons in their world? But also, number two, this is a threat to my power. I'm gonna send this guy after him. And so she revives us, she sends us back to the world of the living, she does all sorts of cool things for us, but in return, we've got to shoot the demons that she doesn't like. It's a win-win situation, I would say. Anyway, so if you're having trouble following along with the things that she says, that's kind of the motivation, I would imagine. She's kind of a pretentious kind of person. Real head up her own butt kind of way of talking. It might be hard to follow along, but don't worry. So this person appears to have just attacked us without any warning at all. Didn't even say their name, didn't say a word to us, just started attacking, like a jerk. I'm sure we'll learn more about them in just a bit, though. Alright, and with these little power-ups here, we are now at 400. That's the maximum amount of power, so all our weapons are fully charged up. And finally, there is not so much to talk about, so I can just take the bullets as they come. Maybe I can start showing off some patterns in map mode now that I don't have to talk a mile a minute anymore. So this lady here, now that she actually feels like talking, she's sort of the boss around here, I guess. Some kind of Grim Reaper looking person. I'm sure she is also not happy with the fact that a living person is trying to get out of the Netherworld. Yep, Yukari's fudging the rules again. Oh yeah, gotta dot the T's and cross the I's. If you don't fight me, then it's gonna look real bad on the paperwork, I get it. Let's see, is this pattern anything in map mode? Not really, it just kind of looks like circles. Do another one for me. No, not that one. Not that one! No? There you go. Yeah, it's just circles, and I'm running into them because I'm stupid. Oh, I was kind of hoping you'd be dead by now. There we go. Alright, what's next? Right, I know this one. No need to show it off in map mode. She puts fire at your feet, so you run away from it, and then the fire explodes into bullets. Unfortunately, it happens so slowly that it's pretty easy to just walk right through them. Like, these gaps are so big I could drive a truck through them. Oh goodness. I believe this is just the same pattern as her first non-spell card attack, no need to show it off again. I'll take that heal. What's next? I'm putting her in her pain animation too much. Come on, you can do one. So she fires that big electric bolt, but you move a little bit. Oh my god, stop going into your pain animation. What a critical weakness. You just shoot her and she can't even do anything. Alright, what's next? Oh wait, this one. Yeah, this one's annoying. So she fires a slow circle of bronze bullets, and then she fires the silver shotgun that forces you to move out of the way, and then the gold bullets that are really fast and catch up with the bronze ones. I would never be able to dodge this in map mode, so you're just going to have to take my word for it, unfortunately. This is actually quite a difficult one. Unfortunately, I'm not facing north, so if I go into map mode, my controls are going to be messed up. Just shoot her from far away, put her in a pain animation so she can't even do the full combo. Her pain chance is kind of high, I think. Thanks, Machi. Oh, no, of course not. Solidarity, man. I wouldn't fucking snitch to your boss. Alright. Okay, I guess Yukari's trying to send us into hell. It makes sense, that's where the demons would be, I guess. The bigger fairies in this stage... Can you... Wait, can you... Come on. Show it off! Oh, fine. I'll go find a different big fairy who wants to shoot me more than it wants to die. Oh, that one in the back did a decent job. The bullets kind of snake across each other like that. So if you get really desperate, you can try to weave through them, but it's a lot smarter to just kind of take the other side. It's very reminiscent of the first stage of Touhou 11, where there is quite a similar pattern. And again, you can dodge through it if you're crazy and you want to get 1,000,000 points for grazing next to so many bullets. Or you can just avoid the entire thing if you're not crazy. There is no bonus for grazing between bullets in this game. In fact, there is no score to keep track of at all, so I'm just going to lure them to one side and then run to the other side, if that's okay with everyone here. Actually, I haven't taken a hit yet. Whatever, let's try and... Ah! Nope, I ran right into the back one. I think I actually did run through that first one correctly, though. There's a fairy behind me. Oh, it was only a little one. Whenever I hear bullets spawning behind me, I get terrified. Whenever I'm fighting bosses, I really should be using Persuasion Needle. It's the one that deals the most damage, and it's just a little bit easier to aim than Magic Missile. It's been a while since I used this weapon. Let's see Hakore Amulet in action a little bit. Oh my goodness, why did I not get out of the way of that? I was frozen like a deer in the headlights. Oh, and then I tried to cross over that at a bad time. I'm falling asleep at the wheel here. I think my bullets are trying to track down those enemies over there. It's kind of the bad thing about using a homing shot. Sometimes it'll just go for the target you don't want. This just does not deal very much damage. Let's go back to the explosions. Even though Homing Amulet deals so little damage, it is still a nice addition to the arsenal just because of how fire and forget it is. If I need to fight entirely in map mode for some reason, I can just hold down the button and let the homing do all of the work. I don't believe there's going to be any bosses that difficult where I really need map mode that badly for a little while. Maybe in the next video I'll have to do that a little bit. Alright, so... Itsuika. What's she doing down here? Drinking? Getting in fights? Both? Yelling at random passers-by? Ah, here we go. Yukari thinks that there's a problem in the Palace of the Earth Spirits, which is presumably this building. Not that I really know what the outside looks like. Maybe that's where the demons are. Yeah, follow tradition. Drinking and fighting. Unfortunately, we don't have any drink. Oh yeah, back to the boss fighting weapon. Not that one. I should just grab the heal, I think. Oh, she's huge! She does not really have the kind of jumps she needs for this to be very dangerous. I imagine if she lands on me, it probably deals 1,000,000,000,000 damage, but... Oh dear. She's getting stuck on the buildings now. Now, that was kind of pathetic. Yeah, Suka's kind of a up-close and personal fighter. Unfortunately, there is not a lot of incentive to stay close to her, and all of her attacks are quite easy to dodge if you're not just right in her face. Oh, I say that, but I did just take a few hits there, I guess. Okay, she can turn into mist. It means I can't shoot her. And these bullets are kinda slow and not very deadly. I think what I'll do is, while she's in the mist, I'll do that thing I said I was going to do with a spell card. And shoot a big laser beam at her. Okay, so... that was a pretty decent demonstration of just how much damage a spell card does. Master Spark is one of the more deadly spell cards you're ever going to get. It's just a giant laser beam that goes right through everything. It destroyed her spell card, and then also dealt about 80-90% damage to the next pattern. So yeah, spell cards, they deal a huge amount of damage. I'm not going to use them unless I'd have to be in huge trouble to want to use one of those. They make the game too easy. This fight's already easy enough. Suika's spell cards just have not really given me much to work with here. Am I facing north? No, I'm facing west. This one's just kind of random anyway. Also, I said west, but that was east. Yeah, just not exactly the hardest fight, are you? Komachi was a little trickier than this. I did actually have that written down in my notes. The last time I played through this game a year ago, I took some notes for like, oh, if you want to show it off to people, here are some things to talk about. And one of them was definitely... for some reason, Komachi is just way harder than Suika is. Also, yeah, talking about Reimu, I'm sure... I don't know, she's important. We might meet her later. Ah, right, yeah. And with Suika being so easy, that pro tip at the bottom there, saying like, oh, watch out, here's where it gets way harder. It's like, I should hope so. That last boss actually seemed quite easy. One of the easiest bosses we've fought yet, honestly. Didn't I die to Rumia in episode 1? I died to Rumia, but I barely took damage on Suika. That boss really needs a tune-up. Although, to be fair to myself, it was only because I was trying to show off how difficult it is to dodge things in map mode when you're facing the wrong way. Are these big fairies going to shoot at me at all? No? Maybe this one will? Hopefully you guys get to show off your pattern eventually, because it is a cool one. Here we go. They fire the amulets that explode into more amulets. Doesn't this look great? I believe I'm facing north. Maybe I'll show it off in map mode this time. Oh, there we go. Ah, it's no big fairies. Yeah, still weirdly easy. I remember that episode 2 does get hard eventually, but I think the timing... Oh wait, no, here we go. So I'll have to make a quick dart to the left, which makes the gap I need to go right again. And then a quick dart to the right, which gives me the gap I need on the left. There we go. Okay. And then let's see this in map mode for a second. It doesn't quite... Hold up, I'll stop shooting so many bullets at once. I'll have just my regular homing weapon out, and then we can maybe have a better look at it without my bullets clogging the entire screen. Alright, go ahead, fire your shots. Let's see how they look. Oh my god, fire your shots. There you go. So they explode into these big fans that cross over in places, so it's a little tricky to dodge if you let them cross over right on top of you. That's the kind of pattern we're looking at here. Ah, yeah, they crossed over just where I was standing. I didn't see it coming in time. There we go. It's about time for the boss. Yes? No? Yes? No? The little fairy that could? Ah, right, that is how this stage in regular Touhou ends as well. With this one fairy that just fires a trillion bullets on her own. What a trooper. Just 1 second. Let me pick up my weapon again. We also just picked up another one of these red spell cards. You can see I've got these gold ones that look unique, and then 6 copies of this red one. I'll show off what this red one does against this boss. So, this here is Satori. She owns the place. And she can read my mind, which is going to make this conversation even weirder than usual. Huh? What? The wrong hell? Oh yeah, that did happen. I already explained that, Yukari. Oh, that's cute. She could read my mind, but she still got tricked because I'm an idiot that doesn't even know why I'm down here. Maybe. Maybe. So she kind of hinted at the big gimmick of how her fight works, both in regular Touhou and in this. Because she can read our mind, she has an idea of some of the more powerful attacks we've seen, and she can use them back at us. Although that's not what she's doing with this one. This one's kind of just a... Let's see it in map mode. So when the lasers stop, that means they've turned real and you're not allowed to go that way anymore. And then these bullets here are big, so you gotta get away from them. You can't weave through them. So it's kind of like that. Let's see it a couple more times like this. You weave through these, don't go too far to the right, and then the big bullets force you to choose a side. Oh, I did say I was going to use a spell card, didn't I? Let's go like this, and then run right into the bullets. So those were red ones. That's the difference between them and the unique gold ones. They make you just as invincible, but they don't actually deal any damage. That's why you get so many of them. But I don't want to use too many of those either. Maybe if I really get in trouble in the last half of this fight, I'll use one to cover my escape. Oh, why am I using this weapon? I need to deal way more damage than this. Anyway, so here's a spell card we've seen before. And it actually is one of the ones you would catch if you were reading my mind. This is the first one I pointed out as being random rather than aimed directly at me. What else do I remember? Oh yeah? I remember making fun of Sakuya for running away from me constantly during the stop time. Ugh, I also remember these green knives being impossible to dodge. Where is she? There she is. What else have I got in my head? Oh, this one! Yeah, I pointed out this one as being really hard to dodge. But I also pointed out the trick to it, which is you first go left to dodge the first wave, and then you go right to dodge the second. Oh no. There's a big wave of bullets in front of me, but I found the gap in it, because I'm real good. Where's the gap in this? There doesn't seem to be one, so I'll take one hit, and then go to 5 hit points. Whew, that was close. Give me more of those. I'm going to add them to my collection. There's no need to show off too many of those in map mode, we've already seen them before. In fact, that last one I basically showed it off 3 times. Because of how many times I had to fight Remilia, and how many times she uses a spell card that's kind of like that one. Anyway, so things got pretty dicey near the end there. This is about the halfway point of, oh, spoilers. This is about the halfway point of episode 2, so I think this is where I'll cut it for now. Next time, we'll work our way down into the ruins of old former hell, and see if that's where the demons have decided to invade or not. You know, I got good money that it probably is. See you all then.